All right, guys, in this video today, we're going to talk about the foods that you should be eating if you think you are suffering from adrenal fatigue. But before we get into that, I'm Coach Victor Robledo. For 30 years, I've been helping clients get healthy and have a better understanding on what makes them healthy. This includes strength and conditioning, rehabilitative exercise, rehab and prehab exercise, that is, nutrition, and mindset. You want to be able to get fit for you forever and find the reason to train and not just go with the latest tread that you burn out on. And again, in this country, we're facing a real pandemic that is obesity. Most people are struggling with their health these days, so it's important that we can fix that. Now let's get into that. These are 6 things that I recommend everyone with adrenal fatigue eat more of. Now there are individual differences as we go along here, so if you have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comments. Please like and subscribe this video to send it out to more and more people, because a lot of people are really struggling with this. I know I personally faced challenges over the last couple of years with a lot of my clients that I've been working with. They face their own adrenal issues because of the increasing amount of stress in the world, and so I was able to, because I went through this 12 years ago, help them solve their issues really quick and keep them back on track. And you can be back on track and even better than you were before if you follow some of these simple guidelines. Check out my other videos here. If you have any questions, again, leave them in the comments below. All right, so the number one thing that I think you need to eat is well-sourced proteins and meats. Well-sourced proteins and meats are a critical component. A lot of people ask me, hey, if I have adrenal fatigue, should I be keto? Should I be paleo? The answer is it's probably a hybrid of both of those. So I do allow the vast majority of my clients to have some carbohydrates, but blood sugar management is critical for you to decrease your anxiety. And the vast majority of people that are struggling with some level of adrenal fatigue, adrenal insufficiency, again, adrenal fatigue, wired and tired, can't manage your weight, anxiety, depression, injuries, electrolyte imbalance, so dehydration, amongst many things. You can check out some of my other videos if you want more and more about symptoms. But if you can manage your blood sugar, it's going to help you decrease your anxiety, be able to focus on making yourself better, right? Get healing better. So well-sourced protein, whether it's fish, wild game. I'm a massive fan of grass-fed, grass-finished beef. In general, most days I'm consuming, even now, about a pound of grass-fed beef. It just agrees with me. Now, can you do that if you are on a vegan diet or on a vegetarian diet? Yeah, you have to supplement with a lot more beans, legumes, and supplement with pea protein, which actually I use for my protein shakes most days. So well-sourced protein includes fish as well, and poultry. Let's move to number 2, and that is veggies of all types. Really, I mean, I think people can get really get into the minutiae, like, hey, there's a lot of sugar in carrots. Carrots can be an amazing additive. If you're looking to get ready for a fitness or a bodybuilding show, that's completely different. What we're trying to do here is bring a lot of micronutrient density to your diet. And so having fresh vegetables of all types can really diversify how you what you can eat. And so you combine your well-sourced protein with your veggies. Now you have the makings of building out your meal. Number 3, and this is where we get into some of the starches that I might allow in for a lot of my recovering clients, and those are sweet potatoes, yams, and brown rice or wild rice. My preference is a wild rice over brown rice, but some of that is not readily available to everyone I work with. So brown organic rice and organic wild rice are great sources of starches. Of course, if you eat that by yourself, you are going to see what goes up in blood sugar must come down. So the goal is to take your blood sugar up and manage it throughout the day. But if you have many small meals throughout the day and have a measured serving, half cup of brown or wild rice or sweet potatoes, for example. My family actually consumes a lot of organic brown rice and wild rice and sweet potatoes more than anything else because we're gluten-free in the household. And so those can help you as well. All right, number four, beans and lentils. Now, this can vary depending on your severity of your GI health. It can be kind of a no-no because your stomach just reacts, your GI system just reacts negatively and get really gassy. So depending on when you are in your healing. You can integrate lentils are a little bit easier to digest, but they are a really good source of protein and then can help you manage your blood sugar. Number 5 is a big one, and this is organ meats. Organ meats I left aside from meats because most people I see eat well-sourced meats. I generally include that, but I wanted to give it its own category because a lot of people struggle with getting in or getting down any organ meats. Obviously, liver is my number one. When we order our cow whole, and we keep a lot of the organs. Kidney and liver, for example, are absolutely great for rehabbing. Ancient medicine has always known that like cures like. So if you're having trouble with your adrenals, an ancient shaman might recommend eating kidney, right? But a lot of people struggle with that. So you can have some desiccated, which means freeze dried in capsulized form. But I do highly recommend you get some liver in. If you can make it nice, make it prepared so it's palatable, it's great. You don't need much. If you can consume a little bit of that a couple times a week, it'll do wonders. It really is a multivitamin. Most of these organ meats are multivitamins, and they can help your recovery. And the last thing that I also included in this is bone broth. By far the biggest thing that can improve your gut health and start to heal is a well-sourced beef, organic beef bone broth. I remember when I was deep in 12 years ago, when I went through my own adrenal fatigue, my wife would bring me cups of this stuff throughout the day. Before I left for work, I'd have a cup of bone broth. I could just consume it. Tasted delicious with lunch. And again, it doesn't always have to be soup. You can just drink it out of a cup, and it's flavorful, and that extra glutamine in there will help heal those junctions in your stomach. So I'll save this for another video, but ultimately the junctions in between and the villi, your stomach lining should look like this, like my fingers. But as you start to get more and more food intolerances, it flattens out, opens up space. That space invites those particles to pass from the GI tract into your bloodstream. Voila, there you have allergies. So that's my list, guys. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below, or you can reach out to me and we'll set up a consult, and I'll help you step by step get better.